Welcome back, Aces crew, to another episode of TFG Tuesdays. You might be wondering who's in the hot seat today. Well, it's Tommy 2.0. I'm going to try to take over the big man's job for this week. My name's Lachie, and I'm on the line with the great man, Tobes. How are you?
Good to have you, mate. Looking forward to it, and thanks for filling in. Yeah, train just sitting back. Doing not too much over there in Europe, so no, it'd be good fun. From the weekend, it was a good result. Sort of did what we had to. Some good things and some things we need to work on, and all roads lead to the Gold Coast now for us. It's sort of winning, good chance of playing finals, losing maybe not, relying on results. So huge week for us, and really looking forward to it.
Yeah, and you'd be pretty happy with your performance, mate. The 3 goals and the 23 touches. I think a few of us felt after last week it would have been disappointing to miss out, but you'd be pretty happy with that performance.
Yeah, I'll certainly let the team down by not playing against the Doggies, and I mean I'm not wouldn't have helped the scores too much, but just the way it happened and the way I let everyone down. I was keen to finish off the year and have a good 3 weeks, so that's what I'll be trying to do, and important to win the right way on the weekend, which I felt we did for a majority of the game. Felt like it was a Giants game, and then but we'll sort of be judged on how we go this week. This is the huge one for us, and looking forward to trying to contribute.
Now, Tobes, no Jesse Hogan again on the weekend, but the big Callum Brown stood up, kicked the 5. Is that something that we're going to see a little bit more of going in the last few weeks of the season?
Well, I mean, our forward line, really hasn't changed for the last 6 weeks too much. Cads is, in really good touch. Brownie's, had a really good last 8 weeks as well. Hogs has been a bit sore, so he's sort of been a little bit in and out, but I imagine he's playing this week. Pretty confident on that. And then, and then the smalls with me, Das, Snooze, and hopefully we get Binger back. And obviously String. So, it's a really good forward line, working well together, and everyone sort of takes their turn and plays their role. It's a dangerous forward line. If we play our role and look after each other, we were hard to play on.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. And so Jesse Hogan is back this weekend. Is that confirmed?
Oh, I'll confirm it, mate. Yeah, hopefully. He's still just sort of managing his foot at the moment, but no, he's I think he'll be lining up this weekend against Gold Coast.
Absolutely, mate. And you mentioned Jakey Stringer kicked the 3 goals pretty early in the game, and then a tactical sub, we're pretty sure, when he went off. His performance is just rising so far this year. You'd be pretty excited to get him on the finals park, wouldn't you?
Yeah, definitely, and that's sort of why we got him as well. And he's already impacted in some really big moments this year, and he obviously had a sort of interrupted first half of the year, but then his last 8 weeks have been really good, and he adds a different threat for our forward line, and a bit of experience and a bit of toughness. He's great to play with, and really looking forward to last few weeks with him.
Unreal, mate. And so you stayed on the winners list, so still in 8th, but a few changes up further on the ladder. The Pies and the Lions both going down. What did you think of those 2 games during the weekend?
I watched. The Hawks were really good. They looked a far better team, but there's been a few performances like that in the last few weeks. Our really bad one. I think Brizzy sort of had a really bad one against Gold Coast, and then responded. It's sort of, and I guess Adelaide probably weren't thrilled with their performance on the weekend. So everyone sort of had those sort of weird performances, but I think I sort of mentioned it, like anyone in the top 9 can beat anyone. Like it's just so even. There's going to be a really good team that misses out, and hopefully it's not us. But it's just it's incredibly even top 9, and some really good teams. From 9th to 1st. So it's a different year of footy, I think, to sort of what we've ever had, where usually the top 3 or 4 are probably far better. But I think this year it's just game on, really.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. And does it feel like, obviously, every game is just so important now? You've got the Suns this week up there, and then the Saints the week after. Does it almost feel like finals have started early for you blokes?
Yeah, well, essentially it has. Like especially this week against Gold Coast, who they're trying to finish top 4, we're trying to finish top 8. and then there's some huge games around us as well. So, it's a big 2 weeks of footy for those clubs in the top 9, and every result means so much now. So, if we win 2, we're in. If we don't, if we win 1, we rely on others. If we don't win any, we're done. So, it's huge for us.
Yeah, huge, mate. Now, quickly, some news that we've just heard in the last few days. AFL talking about Canberra getting a new side. Any thoughts on that quickly?
I'm not sure. I don't know who reported it. I don't know if that's happening. I don't think that's possible at the moment. We certainly like Canberra as our home ground, and the fans really get around us down there. And I'm sure a team would go well, but I just think it's a key part of what the Giants are trying to do. So I reckon there'll be a bit of pushback from Dave Matthews and the Giants on that idea. So I don't think that'll get over the line. I think Northern Territory is more likely than Canberra. But, yeah, wait and see. I think it's a fair way off anyway. They've got to give Tassie a bit of a runway before they introduce a 20th.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Tobes, we missed it last week, but Simon Goodwin got stood down at the D's. It's become a bit of a thing in the AFL that when a side loses their coach, they usually get up the next week, and they almost did against the Dogs on the weekend. Do you believe in that sort of thinking that most sides have? They lose their coach and then they get up the next weekend. How do you kind of view that, or is it just a bit of a myth?
I mean, I don't know what the reasoning would be, but it certainly sort of takes a bit of a weight off the club and some players, and gives maybe a new lease on life for a few others as well, trying to prove their spot. But the D certainly would have had a different week last week, given that Goody got sacked midweek, and I think they were playing soccer when they were supposed to have their main training, which I don't mind. That looked pretty fun. So, I mean, there's probably a bit of energy that goes through the group, and some boys would be flat as well, given they would have a close relationship. But no, I don't know what the reasoning would be, but yeah, it does seem to sort of have a positive effect.
Have you ever experienced that, mate? Have you ever been playing during the season and had a coach stand down, or have you been pretty smooth with your coaches throughout your career?
No, we had, Leon left sort of around 9 or 10 or whatever it was, so Spike took over the second half of the year, and he certainly changed a few things straight away and sort of made it feel a lot different, which I think is important to do, and it's hard to change a game style though, like you can't within a week. You need a good couple of months, really. But it does give you a bit of energy though, with some changes and different voices and different ideas. So we only had it once, lucky, which is I guess lucky in a way. But Spike was really positive when he came in that for that second half of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we saw on Friday night, Tobes, your old mate Jeremy Cameron. A lot of pressure on him against the Dons. He ended up kicking the 4 goals. Could have had a huge bag. Is it starting to become a bit of a distraction? And, you put yourself in their shoes. Would it be a bit of a distraction, you think, for the last 2 rounds of the season?
Oh, I don't know if it's a distraction. I mean, they'll certainly look for him a little bit more, but I think that'll go away if, like, they're playing Swans this week, which Swans are a good team. So I think they'll probably put that away unless they're up by a fair bit in the last quarter. So I don't think it's a distraction, but they're certainly trying to look for him if they're in a commanding position, which they have been the last few weeks. Fair enough. Try and kick it to him and try and get him 100. It might be hard for him now. Yeah, if he had a kick straight, he'd be a really strong chance. But unless he does something pretty special the last 2 weeks, it's going to be tough. But Geelong could go deep in finals, and he could have a big final series. So wait and see. But it'd be good to see everyone running on the ground one day for 100. I don't know I didn't think it was possible. So it's amazing that we're even talking about it.
Yeah. Do you think he gets there? He needs 20. So obviously the two more regular season games and then maybe a few finals. Do you think he gets the 20, or do you think it's just too out of reach now after the weekend?
I mean, wait and see how he goes the last 2. Like I think they got Richmond last game of the year. So, I don't know. You have to be close to 90 by the time finals start, and then yeah, and then he's a real strong chance. So he's got a couple of big weeks coming up.
Absolutely. Now, we saw on the weekend the big Tomahawk, speaking of a Cats legend, pulled on the shorts in the VAFA in some Melbourne local footy. Now, Tobes, when you hang them up, mate, in hopefully a long, long time, do you see yourself pulling on the local footy shorts and kicking around the footy, or are you completely done whenever you wrap up?
It's pretty funny, actually. Some of the vision of Georgia, actually, my partner showed me what Emma Hawkins put up, and I think she was pretty much potting him for being a fat mess. So it was pretty funny. He looked like he had good fun though. Geez, he looked strong. But I think, I'd love to play a couple of games here and there. I'm not committing to a season. I think I'll try and get everything I can out of the body for AFL, and then that might do me. But if my brother or mates are still playing, I'd love to play a couple of games here or there. It's something you don't really get to do as a professional footballer, and something you definitely enjoy.
It's time to have a cup of coffee with our friends at Inglewood Coffee Roasters, Australia's #1 coffee roasters. Visit inglewoodcoffeeroasters.com.au. Tobes, who are you having a coffee with this week?
Yeah, I'll go. Our good mate Tommy's over in Nice at the moment, sipping on Aperol spritzers in probably 28 degrees weather. So maybe I'll just fly over there for a couple of days and say hello to him and have a nice cup of coffee. It looks like he's having a good time, and then interviewing the big boy. So it'd be interesting to see what sort of stories he's got.
Yeah, exactly right. I'm sure he's got a few stories to tell when he gets back in the hot seat. Now, back to some local footy, mate, in the VAFA once again. Jake Dillon on the weekend. Not sure if you've heard of him, but he booted 19 snags in the VAFA. Pretty handy bag. What's the most you've ever bagged in a game, Tobes? What's your biggest haul?
That is a good effort. Who's he playing for?
I'm not sure. It's a low division, I know that, but he's done pretty well if he's bagging 19.
You got to kick straight. It's a serious effort. Well done to my brother as well. He kicked 9 on the weekend for Rye. The Rye locals are up and about, so shout out to him. The most, I think I kicked 11 in school footy one day. That's my most. But 19. Yeah, Georgia, my partner, just yelled out she kicked 7 in their only game. So that's 11's my most.
Yeah, it's still a pretty handy effort, but the 19, you can't be missing many if you're kicking the 19. That is a big day at the office. Now, Cooper Trembath as well on the weekend, debuted against your boys for the Kangas. 85 days ago, he was playing local footy in Melbourne, and now he's on the big stage in the AFL. Is that the quickest you've ever seen someone go from having a local footy kick to then playing on the big time? Because, 3 months, he's done well, the boy.
Yeah, it's quick. So he's playing local footy at the start of this year. That's I didn't even know that. That's well done to him. Yeah, he had a good game as well. He kicked a few goals. So it's pretty funny if he's done pre-season in a local club and rolled up playing against us in round 22. That's good for footy, and that's the great thing about the mid-season draft. Plenty of stories like that, and it gives guys who play in the local leagues and the VFL and all those state leagues something to really work towards during the season.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And it shows that it can be done. Do the Giants have any rookie drafts this year, or? Yeah,
we've certainly got rookie spots. Yeah, we'll look to hopefully try and get guys from our academy, which is been really, really strong for us, and then I know recruiters will be looking all over the country for guys from a couple of left of field ones. We got like a guy Nath Wardius from our academy who got pretty much drafted from local country footy. Like it wasn't Oven and Murray's either. So we've certainly had a few like that. Nick Madden the same.
It's a fair effort. Now, Tommy didn't mention on last week's show, but I thought I'd just unbury the hatchet a little bit, mate. We saw a clip last week of you and Pedro Pascal and a few of Hollywood stars just rubbing shoulders, you and Brodie Grundy in there. You got anything to say about that little interaction? How was that?
Nah, it was good. It was wasted on me a bit. I wasn't not too across my actors, and I didn't realise how famous he was. I had a few people reach out and they couldn't believe I'd met him, but so it was a bit wasted on me. But he was a good man, Pedro. He was great to talk to, and I've sort of met Brodie a fair few times over the years, so he's a good man. And no, it was. I think both the clubs were pretty happy with the publicity it got because, people love their actors. I found out.
Yeah, elite, mate, elite. Now, obviously, we touched on it before, but the Suns this week up there, the Expansion Cup, does that play on the mind a little bit this week? It's a massive game. How do you reckon the boys are going to go?
Yeah, the Expansion Cup doesn't come across the mind too much, but the chance to play finals does, and it's a huge game, probably the biggest one ever we've had against them. So they're a bloody good team. One of the best midfields in the comp, I reckon, and so it's a huge game. I think it's 24 and sunny, which is just sensational for this time of year. So, no, really looking forward to it, and I guess as if we win, we're pretty good, really strong chance of playing finals, and this is what you play footy for, these sort of games. So, looking forward to it.
Yeah, mate. Do you feel rejuvenated as well? I know you obviously didn't want to have the week off last week, but just having a little bit of a rest and getting the body right for the last, however long the season might be. How is the body feeling, and how did you feel after the weekend?
Nah, I feel really good. Yeah, felt sharp, and certainly you are a bit, I guess, quicker, and you're a little bit sharper with the week off. That there's no, I don't think you can argue that you're not. So no, felt really good, and and put a fair bit of extra work in that week off to make sure I was. So looking forward to it. These last two games, feeling really good, and want to try and impact as well as I can, and try and make sure we're playing footy in September. All right, I've got one for us to finish, another KPI construction. Stop that. I'm not sure how much Tommy's filled you in, but we sort of bring to head an issue that's come across our desk, and this week it's our man Tom Sheridan. Just as I said, drinking Aperol spritzes for fun, and he's got calf issues as is, and now he's just rolling into a Legends game with some of the greatest names of all time. I'm just not sure how prepared he is, or what his mindset is going into this game. It's an interesting one. Have you managed to get a session in with him?
No, he asked me the other week, Tobes, if he wanted to have a kick, and I said, I'm not going to be much help to you, mate, and I understand he wanted to have a kick with you as well, but apparently the great man doesn't get out of bed until about 10 a.m, so that didn't work for him. But yeah, you're right. I've been seeing Aaron Phillips, Cyril Rioli. I've been seeing all these guys get up for it. And Tommy Sheridan, who isn't doing much work behind the scenes, that's a big stop that for me, mate. What about you?
Yeah, he's it'd be nice if he starts on the wing next to Kane, just head to head for a quarter. It'd be good to watch. There's some big names playing. It'd be good to watch. And as we know, his speed issues with his calves are going to, have been his Achilles heel now for a while. So I'm interested to see how that goes, and looking forward to it. It'd be funny watching. As I said, there's some serious names he's got to run around with, so it'll be good fun.
Yeah, it will be a good watch. And he told me, Tobes, he said, I don't know how the calf's going to go in that first quarter, so it'll be a good watch either way. So we've seen a few Legends games in the last few years, Tobes. Do you have a favourite moment from any of those Legends games before old Tommy gets in there and makes fun himself? Yeah,
I think I remember Derek Kickett's goal from the boundary. That's like that would have won AFL goal of the year. He was carrying a bit, old Derek, but it was a genuinely freakish goal, and I remember it quite well as a kid growing up watching them. It was good fun. Hutchie's goal as well. That comes to mind. There's been some good moments. Hopefully, Train features in another one. Have you got one?
Yeah, I was gonna say the Craig Hutchinson when Fitzy pulled his dacks down and rolled around on the Boonana. I think the commentator said that was a pretty good one. So he's got a fair bit to live up to, the Train, but yeah, hopefully he's doing plenty of runs over in Nice and Europe and wherever he is now. So fingers crossed he can get on the park and put on a show for us.
Yeah, I'm not confident, but we'll see.
All right. Thanks for joining us here on TFG Tuesdays. Tobes, thanks for joining us, mate, and good luck this week against the Suns. Massive game for you boys. Hope you go well.
No, appreciate it, mate. Thanks for filling in, and we'll be speaking shortly. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. We'll see you next week.
lot of raised eyebrows when I hired Gary as my new bodyguard. But the guy really offers something unique. Just like the PointsBet app. It's all about offering something different, like a better, faster way to bet on all your favorite sports.
She's good to go, mate.
PointsBet, built different.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.